Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. I'm your brother, old guy from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What it do? What's good? It's your brother SamAnt, viral hip hop news. We're in the building. A Tuesday edition of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. Oh God, yes. What's good, my brother?
Peace, peace, peace. Like the brother said, a Tuesday edition of the Uncensored Truth Podcast. We want to say peace to everybody listening on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to this podcast. We getting it in today. Your favorite topics in hip hop and around the world. Definitely excited to be in the building once again. As always, everybody on YouTube, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. The Uncensored Truth Podcast is here. What up, Sam?
Feeling good this afternoon, this evening. Oh God, can't wait to get over here. Like we always do, man. This is our favorite part of the evening to get over here and rock out on the podcast. We love the people. It's been an incredible amount of support and engagement for the podcast on all platforms, all three platforms. We can't thank you enough. And yeah, man, we got a great lineup of show for you today. We ain't talking about R. Kelly as much, but we're gonna talk about him a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, real excited, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, we're gonna get right to it. Today, we got the playoffs coming up this weekend. We got a dynamic interview Friday, and we're gonna keep them coming with the interviews. Also Friday night, at 8 p.m. will be our live show on Hip Hop News Uncensored. So we ready. We're ready to get it in, man. And but today we're gonna talk about R. Kelly. Not as much, like you said, just a little bit today about some new developments in that case. Also, Nick Cannon's, artist killed himself pretty much. Was cut his throat and then I think was killed by the police. Also, we have a few other stories that we're going to go down today on the Uncensored Truth Podcast. So I'm going to jump actually right into this. If you're listening on YouTube, I need you to do me two favors. As always, hit the like button and please go ahead and share this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let them know the Uncensored Truth Podcast is live. All right, I'm going to start with this story, right here about the R. Kelly. We've been talking about this. It's been on Lifetime. All major media outlets have been covering the R. Kelly documentary called Surviving R. Kelly. But we were talking about this the other day. How come there's been no prosecution? How come the parents didn't do anything? Well, it appears that sources from Fulton County District Attorney's Office said an investigation was open based on allegations made against Kelly in the Lifetime documentary. It was noted by the news outlet that investigators have been trying to get in contact with some of the alleged victims in the documentary. One of the women who escaped R. Kelly's house in Georgia, Asante McGee, has reportedly been contacted by authorities that trying to move forward on trying to get some, press some, charges on R. Kelly. SamAnt, your initial thoughts on this came out a few hours ago. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it's about time. About time. I'm sad that it took a Lifetime series for this to go down. There should have been people coming out giving testimony. But that being said, if it did take a Lifetime series for this to come, applaud to the victims, applaud to things moving forward. Should be real interesting to see. I think the truth is going to set a lot of people free. Now, we all know the justice system that we're looking about going into right now. It's a flawed system. Things can happen. We seen the situation happen with him when the sex tape scandal came out years and years ago. Everyone thought it was him. Everyone knew it was him doing those crazy ass things. He got off on that. So we all know how this works. We don't know what's going to happen when it comes to a hearing. We don't know what's going to happen moving forward. But this is a step in the right direction. If you do feel as though R. Kelly is a pedophile, a molester, and guilty of some things that aren't justly allowed in the society, then you got your win today. And I'm one of those people that feel as though he does need to be prosecuted or looked into further if these allegations are strong. So I'm glad this is going on right now. Yeah,
especially if it's like the way they making it seem like it was like a cult and there was like so many different, women, that came in that he manipulated, and they said he was a charmer. Some of the things that they said, and he would pretty much, get inside these women's heads young and make an impression on these women, young. So they, it's almost, like they're not going to come out against him because they love this guy. He took their virginity. He buys them stuff. And there's been allegations about him even sleeping with and taking care of some of the parents as far as financially wise, which is definitely crazy. But Common came out, and I'm going to play this video, SamAnt. Then I want to get your opinion on this aspect, because I don't think we really covered this one. This probably could shed a little bit more light on why we haven't seen him being prosecuted. Here's what Common thinks. I'll play this clip real quick, and I'll get your commentary on that.
What do you make of these women that Miss R. Kelly did? Just documentary has shocked the world. I gotta know this. Yeah. Jada Smith said something. She said, black women are not being valued, and that's when you see the sales spikes, that's what it says.
If it wasn't just black women who R. Kelly had been, molesting and abusing, if it wasn't just black women, he would have been attacked by the system in a different way. Meaning, the system doesn't have a value for black women the way they do, white women or just other nationalities. I mean,
I can see that.
Yeah, but let me say this. Obviously, R. Kelly, from everything we've seen and what we're hearing, he has issues that has to really, really be worked on, some deep and dark, heavy issues. And I'm not in the one to judge him, but I'm not condoning that ever, ever. And I feel for the survivors, I feel like, man, I just feel a lot of compassion for them. We felt as a community because we knew that these things were happening instead of trying to be like, yo, let's go try to, resolve this situation and free these young ladies and get, and stop this thing that's going on. We just like, man, we rock into the music, I'm guilty of that too myself, because I didn't stop and be like, yo, and speak against this. And that's, R. Kelly from my hometown, at the end of the day, he's a human being. He has his issues, and we see that, but I can condone that, and I shouldn't be allowing that to happen. We failed our communities as black people. I ain't even gonna talk about what the system did by not caring about black people. We should have been caring about our young ladies, but we stopping that cycle, and I think people are aware, and we live and learn.
So that clip right there is courtesy of TMZ. Said a mouthful. They're obviously agreeing with a lot of what the brother, put down. They're definitely, we are accountable. We said this, numerous times on the platform, talking about this R. Kelly, scandal. But SamAnt, what are your initial thoughts on Common, echoing the sentiments of us and other people? What do you think about that?
Yeah, God, I concur exactly for what you said. It reminds me of the conversation we had yesterday in Master P and his discussion. It expressed almost the exact same sentiments. You have to start just kind of taking some accountability for your own actions. As us, we have to start taking accountability in our actions. Now, I've been looking throughout the various comments, and we appreciate everybody that goes on the podcast and comments on on the platforms. But a lot of the slack that we're getting is, well, why aren't you talking about Weinstein? Why aren't you talking about Lauer? Why aren't you talking about this? Well, one, we have.
Yeah.
Two, you can't have it both ways. And this is what I mean by that. You say, fuck the Grammys, fuck the Oscars, fuck this, fuck that. That's not ours. That's not ours. But then want us to hold people accountable for doing things to their own people. Well, how are we going to have it both ways? If we don't want them, if we don't need their acceptance when it comes to this, we shouldn't ask for their accountability when it comes to that. Let's worry about our own. But in far too many times, we think that we're attacking our own when we hold our own, the people that put themselves on these pedestals, accountable. It's not, we can't have it both ways, black people. We got to really understand what we're doing here and just kind of get a grip and accountability on ourselves. Now, he made a good point. We all fall guilty of that. Now, this being said, all the shit that was going on with R. Kelly early on, that's a lot of the stuff we seen as children. Yeah. So we weren't able to adapt and understand what the severity of what was going on early on. Now that we're adults, we're able to express our opinions a lot better, fathers, things like that. So we are on these podcasts expressing our opinions and things and such. So I agree with him when it comes to that. We have to do a better job. We should have held him accountable a long time ago. It wasn't very popular to say F. R. Kelly, he's a pedophile during the time when he's creating hits after hit after hit after hit. But somebody should have went out there and stepped out and said it, because now a lot of people look hypocritical.
Yeah, a lot of people, man, everybody coming out of the woodworks now, each and every day is F. R. Kelly. I think DJ Mustard, put something up this morning. I seen on Twitter that he said kind of F. R. Kelly. So, people knew about this, especially back in our day. They did nothing about it. They didn't care. They turned a blind eye to it. They seen the situation with Aaliyah. Everybody, deserves a blame. The parents, but as far as the pending investigation, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Right.
It's so long ago. Can they get a witness cooperation? Because back then we thought he was going to jail. Back when he had that sex tape with the minor, we thought that it was over, that he was going to jail. cutthroat. You know what I mean? So you know, I like what Common said, man. I gotta definitely agree with what he said. Always like when he puts his opinion out there. We need more people like Common. But yeah, man, everybody deserves, you know, blame in this situation. But I don't think that nothing's going to happen to this guy, to be honest, at this time. I just don't.
It remains to be seen. Another point I want to add onto this is a lot of the criticism we were getting throughout the comment section. I was real busy talking to the people today. It was dope. But we didn't watch the docuseries. We have no weight in this discussion.
Seen that.
Well, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because we've watched and seen this docuseries play out forever and ever and ever when it comes to R. Kelly. The last 2 decades, while I Believe I Can Fly was flying and World's Greatest and I Wish and all these hits were flying through the airwaves, and B2K was rocking, and all these other artists that were written songs by R. Kelly were rocking. We knew all of this. We knew he married Aaliyah. We knew he pissed on that girl. All that stuff went down. He calls himself the Pied Piper. What does that mean? Exactly. Let's go in our history books. He's been the Pied Piper since day one, since he was with Aaron Hall and them. He's been the Pied Piper. So this is nothing new to anybody. So don't give me the thing that, oh, these dudes didn't watch the docuseries. They don't matter. I don't need to hear the nasty details. I already know the fucking story.
I don't need to see nobody's propaganda. You know what I mean? If it happened, it happened. I don't need to watch it. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. I mean, I 100% agree with what you said right there to answer, you know, that comment. We definitely seen it and we know. You know what I mean? So definitely remember to tune into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and SamAnt going in today on this Tuesday. Everybody listening on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. This next story, man, is very gruesome, man. And sad to report, man, that Nick Cannon's artist Ryan Bowers reportedly cut his own throat, and then he was shot by police. So according to Fox 5 in San Diego, they're saying a 23-year-old man, you know, who, you know, was his artist. I didn't really know a lot about him, to be honest with you, saying, man.
Right now, me neither.
Yeah, but here's what they're saying. They said dispatchers received a 911 call around 9:45 p.m. Thursday from a person reporting they managed to get a knife away from Bowers after he used the weapon to cut his own throat at a residence. Officers responded to the location, and family members of Bowers led them into the apartment, and then they led them to the back bedroom. Dupree said when officers approached the man in the bedroom, he allegedly pulled out a knife from his jacket pocket and raised it up towards officers. The officers then drew their weapons and ordered the man to back up, but the man continued to advance on the officers with the knife pointed at them, the lieutenant said. Now, after this, he said one of the officers then fired his weapon at the man, striking him at least once in the upper body. Dupree said officers at the scene gave a medical unit aid, and a paramedic, arrived. And they're saying Bowers was transported to local hospital with life-threatening injuries. Homicide detectives are still investigating, you know, the other officers, you know, shooting. SamAnt, your thoughts?
Well, this is wild.
Yeah.
At least they tried to keep him alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not, at least they tried to keep him alive. Well, that being said, he tried to commit suicide. This young guy did not want to live.
Definitely.
He tried to commit suicide once by slicing his throat. He tried to commit suicide again when he knew the cops were going to kill him after he drew a knife on him. He knew what he was doing in those situations, and that's very unfortunate. What this kid could be going through at 23 years old to make him feel as though he's not welcome or needed on this earth anymore is something that needs to be addressed and looked into, because a lot of our youth are feeling this way for whatever reasons, and it goes hand in hand with what we were talking about yesterday. Not to bring up R. Kelly again, but with parenting, we have to pay attention to our kids. We have to make sure that we don't smother them, no, but we're engaged in their lives and we know what's going on, and we're not too engaged in our lives that we forget about them.
Good point. Because
there's a lot of shit going on out here, and if they don't have a reliable source to go to, which should be their parents, or should be an OG, or should be somebody that they could look up to, this world will chew them up and spit them out. And we see this far too often. That money doesn't cure a lot of the pain that's going on, and this kid was going through some pain, and I just pray for him.
Yeah, man. Definitely a very sad situation. I want to read what Nick Cannon said today. He said, "This honestly hurts my heart to have to post this right now." Cannon wrote in a lengthy post. He said, "But I'm just requesting the prayers and positive energies from my young guy at Ryan Bowers. Has to be one of the most talented and gifted youngsters I ever met. but more importantly, one of the most resilient and strong spirits I have personally witnessed. He had such a troubled and haunted journey when I first signed him that I wasn't aware of it because he always had a smile. One of the nicest, sincere kids you could ever, meet. And he goes on to explain their back history and all that. Once again, sad, very sad. And what's the best for the whole situation, man?
Yeah, that's
crazy
a fact.
story.
That's a fact.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Oh God, and SamAnt going in today on this Tuesday. Everybody listening on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. SamAnt, I want to ask you about this because we ran a story yesterday on Charlamagne. Some old tweets, came out. And I was just kind of, taken aback by the media's lack of coverage. Not to say that I'm trying to see anybody go down or anything like that, but it made me, even when that whole other story came out, a lot of media outlets, like the big ones like that, if they would have touched it, it would have really went. But they never really touched it. We touched it. A few other outlets touched it, but it didn't really blow up like that. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that? You think that there's this certain relationships with different outlets that cause people not to go there, or is it some type of really like protection around this brother? Because it seems like nobody really touched that, but Vlad TV was the only outlet that I seen that put the story out about Charlamagne's old tweets regarding R. Kelly.
You may be onto something, but right now I'm going to say let's wait a little bit because it's still, this kind of reminds me of his situation a couple months ago and how we were on it quick. We weren't the first ones on it, but we were on it quick. And then we kind of got wind of what was going on and said, yo, this is going to be something. I'll never forget that.
Right.
And then it was what it was. This could potentially be the same thing. Coming right off the R. Kelly situation, we see just everything seems to be coming out in drones and in waves, and his name is hot, especially when it comes to this topic. People don't like him when it comes to this topic. They were on him for being in the series itself, and then we seen the tweets. Now, we talked about the tweets yesterday, and I want to get to a lot of the people, particularly in viral hip-hop news, in regards to that, because a lot of people are trying to put the same notion when it comes to R. Kelly and these tweets to our conversation that we did a couple months ago in regards to the whole rape allegation. And a lot of people are, you got some people saying, yeah, they came around. Now they finally see what's going on with R. Kelly. You got some people going, you guys are hypocrites because you said this and this and this. Let me make this clear. Still don't think he raped that young lady. Based off the evidence, based off of everything that we've seen, our truth is our truth. We don't try to validate yours. We just speak ours. You can disagree with it. You can agree with it. That's your 100% right in doing. This has nothing to do with that. Because of his history, because of his background, because of what he is out here being represented as nowadays in the mainstream media and various people that look at him, he has to be careful in his moves that he makes. We talked about it a million times. He needed to just delete his old Twitter and start a new one. And we don't think that his tweets were malicious. We don't think that they were intentional. We think that they were in joke. But Charlamagne has to realize that Charlamagne can't do those kind of things because of his history, because of his past, because of how he's being looked at. He went through some stressful shit on that. He admitted it. Yeah. So it really didn't look good. It really just looked kind of rookie-ish. And we had to call him out for it. We call a spade a spade. No man or woman is put on a pedestal to where they're not subjected to doing wrong. And we're going to call it out if it gets called out. We're also going to highlight the great that they do. So we're not flip-flopping. No one's sitting here saying that we see something different. No, we see the exact same thing we've been seeing. The energy is exactly the same. We just call it right and wrong.
Yeah. Definitely. Like you said, I think that's a good point. Give it a little bit of time, because when you really look at those tweets, they're bad. They're bad. So, what we'll do is leave the video attached to this video. If anybody wants to watch that, we'll leave a card if you want to watch the video of the exact tweets. I'm not going to bring them up again. I don't want to do that, but it was kind of crazy that only one outlet touched that.
Indeed. And we're not trying to, like God said in the initial portion of this, we're not trying to call out Charlamagne. We're not trying to berate him. We don't want him to lose any opportunities that come from this, but we just had to do our job.
Fact. Definitely. And that, and that's what comes with it. Like, once you put yourself in the public eye, he has to understand that he has done numerous stories on people and gave people donkey of the day. And this comes with the territory. So he can't get mad at that. He's got to be mad at yourself for saying something like that.
Should have deleted that shit.
You know what I mean? But nevertheless, That is what it is. Like you kind of say, man. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and SamAnt going in today on this Tuesday. Make sure y'all tune in on Friday night at 8 p.m. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. on Hip Hop News Uncensored. We'll be going live, doing our podcast in front of the people. Hopefully we'll have somebody on the hot seat. If not, we'll just be going over topics and kicking it with y'all. Definitely.
Can we talk about how much we love that, man? Like just how the podcast live on Hip Hop News Uncensored every Friday has just grown and matured, and we got a nice little audience base that come over there and rock with us on Friday evenings. And we had a guest on Friday, and the energy was great in the chat room. It was just it was electric, and it was something that we could feed off of, and we look forward to doing it more. The people want it, so expect more from the Uncensored Truth podcast live, to have more live guests and things like that. It's going to be exciting, man, for sure.
Yes, definitely. But you tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and SamAnt. SamAnt, this is a story right here that I just seen that I want to cover, real quick, because John Legend, has been, very vocal, but it was a picture that somebody posted, of him, and it's a picture with him and another young lady and Harvey Weinstein. So he's receiving a lot of backlash from somebody who posted this. The lady, pretty much calling him a hypocrite, for taking a picture with Harvey Weinstein. Now I'll get into what John Legend said. He said, I took a photo with and worked with Harvey on several occasions before his abuse was known to me and the rest of the world. Since his being exposed, his company and career have rightfully been destroyed, and he's been indicted. Sounds something that should happen to R. Kelly. I don't know why they put it like that, but sounds like something that should happen to R. Kelly. What do you think about that?
I think he's a little bit of a hypocrite.
Whoa,
a little bit. Now we talked about. I said earlier that a lot of the problems that we have are we don't want to be accepted when it comes to the accolades. We say that those aren't ours anyway. We don't belong there. But then we want to hold those very people accountable for their actions when they ain't none of our business. The Harvey Weinsteins, the Hugh Hefners.
Right.
Hugh Hefner's name a lot. When I seen 96% of those women were all white, but we worried about that. But we're not supposed to worry about that. I'll worry about it if you want me to, but you tell me not to. So we gotta clear that shit up. But in this regard, when he was so just outwardly crazy about R. Kelly and wanting to do these things and F R. Kelly, and you throw the little line across, should have been did that with Harvey Weinstein too. And that's where you're a little hypocritical. You could be 100% correct in both instances of what you're saying, but you should have did them with both, and you didn't. And that's kind of whack.
Yeah. And he's saying before he knew about it and everything. But what I will say is there's other people. That's all I want to hear from some brothers that's close to us, because there are other people. I think Kevin Spacey is somebody that's been up for sexual assault. There's been other Caucasian guys that have been going down
Kevin
too.
Spacey's molestation, little boys.
Oh, molestation. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So people are being held to the fire. It's just like what Common was said. It's just like our community. We're not holding each other accountable for certain things like that. And then it's like, I do think, I didn't say this earlier, I do think that, if R. Kelly, if these have been white women, that it probably would have been definitely snuffed out quicker than black women. I definitely think that. Facts.
Look at the history. Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods.
Right.
I mean, when they get caught in situations, O.J. Simpson, when you get caught in situations,
right?
Oh, they're going to know about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just is what it is.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not going to give my opinion on John Legend. I don't know too much of the history, but I'll go with what you said on that. Definitely.
And that being, and without all that being said, I did not see the docuseries. So when it comes to John Legend's argument, I did not hear his remarks. So maybe let me backtrack on the hypocrisy comment. It just seems kind of funny to me that when I look at your IG and I see the crossed out R. Kelly, and then I see a picture with you and Harvey Weinstein, that you're not doing the same or giving that same energy. That's where my argument comes from. Now his remarks in the docuseries, because I did not see it.
Right. No doubt. That is what it is. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's all I got, man. You got anything else over there?
Yeah, let's talk about that DJ Envy shit.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
DJ Envy opening up the school. Now I showed you, I sent you an IG post a little earlier on in the day, and it kind of made us laugh. But we was like, yeah, we're gonna go into that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Our man DJ Envy in Flipping, New Jersey. I don't know my brother's name. They do a lot with the real estate. They real estate game out in New Jersey. We're watching them very closely. Inspiration. Motherfucker go to school, man.
Oh man.
Went out there and hey, looked at a school in New Jersey. They got the inspection and they're looking to open up this year probably in a couple months or so. I heard between April and June. I'll put it out there like that. He did a couple on his IG. We'll see if we could pull those up real quick. But I was like, wow, man, that's just shout out to people that really are genuine about what they want to do. They got good credit. They got good intentions. And they go out there and do it.
Let me see. I'll play the video, then we'll get to this. Hold on.
Lord.
What up, y'all? It's EJMV. Got my guy Caesar, and it's Monday Motivation, all right? Now, this is another school. We've been looking at it, and we finally did the inspection today, and we'll be closing by the end of the week. Now, this school is amazing. It's beat up. It's been closed for years. They moved the kids to another school, so it's sitting there. So we decided to take it and make it into housing. Now, from this alone, how much you can make monthly? About 90,000. We're talking about buying for $2 million after renovations with about $12 million. This is the next level. You know, instead of the small refis, a couple $100,000, we're talking about millions now. Right. So as you can see, this is what we're getting into now. We started off with 1 family, 2 families, and we're doing a little bit of everything. So hopefully, if you want to learn more about getting into real estate on a small level to a big level, make sure you click the link in our bio and join us at our seminar. It says this is how it's time to shoot.
No doubt. Nah, that's dope, man. Like you said, very, inspirational. And it goes to kind of show the Dr. Umar thing that if you want to do it, it could be done. And if you got 700,000, you can get it done.
How much did Caesar say it took to buy that shit? Did it say 90?
I think he said 90,000. Yeah.
And then a couple $100 bands to put into it. So 200 bands, you took like $290,000.
Yeah. I saw it was another property he went into that said it was going to make $100,000 flip off of it. You know what I mean? A video I seen a couple weeks ago. So it could be done, but obviously, I ain't want to go on too much on Dr. Umar, but we'll use this as inspiration for people that want to do it. Anything can be done. It doesn't take 10 years, especially when you got the money. Dr. Umar.
Well said.
Sad. Still no announcement for the school. Still.
Yeah.
Still what, 8th today?
But we're coons.
Yeah. Hey, man. It is what it is. Definitely.
Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Feels good to be here this evening on this Tuesday edition of the Uncensored Truth podcast.
Yes.
Listening to the bro Jason. And if I'm not, who's that? Omizi Miles, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't say it. I don't know. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the brother Omizi. He's out of Camden, New Jersey.
Okay.
Shout out to Omizi. I met him a couple times. Real good dude. Smoked with him a couple times. Talented rapper. He comes off the top on all of his raps. So
dope.
Good dude, man. Shout out to him. Appreciate you on the show.
Yeah.
Our man Jason, of course, on another episode of the Uncensored Truth podcast. We're here again, Thursday.
Yeah, we coming back Thursday. You know what I mean? Thursday, Friday. We'll be back definitely, man. So make sure y'all tune into all the channels, the Uncensored Truth podcast, Viral Hip Hop News, and Hip Hop News Uncensored. That's all I got, man. Another episode in the books.
I'm out. Yep.
Yes, sir. Peace, fam.
Peace.
Boom, boom, boom.